Trooping the Colour is the marquee event for royal watchers in the UK, and this year's was as iconic as ever. These are the big stories and major controversies you may have missed this year.
Queen Camilla's life in the public eye has been nothing short of a decades-long reputational roller coaster. And according to some commentators, her rep, or at least her happiness level, may be starting on a long decline back down. Trooping the Colour in the UK is a celebration of the birthday of the British sovereign. It's held every year in June, regardless of when the monarch's actual birthday is, and it involves a lot of fanfare with a parade and a dramatic flyover from the Royal Air Force. During one part of the parade, the royal family rides in horse-drawn carriages. Back in 2023, King Charles III rode a horse as a leader of the Trooping the Colour parade. This and last year, the monarch opted for a carriage, in which he was joined by Queen Camilla. But despite the pomp and ceremony, Camilla didn't look all too happy to be there. That's according to some royal watchers, who weren't too impressed with the Queen's showing. One person on X shared a clip of Camilla giving a few half-hearted waves and looking rather uninterested and even somewhat bored. It may have been just a few moments from the event, but it clearly made an impression. The viewer wrote, scathingly, "That grumpy face says it all. Thousands struggling outside while she parades in luxury, out of touch and out of time." Another set of the moments, people don't really change, do they? Look at them, non-stop complaining, two petulant, miserable people. There is no joy in this family.
You sound 12:30.
We know between 7:10. Oh God, I hate this.
One person summed up Queen Camilla's vibe at the Trooping the Colour parade by writing, "I've never seen a person actually born looking like a cartoon villain more than Camilla." And someone else floated a reason for her expression, noting, "Looks like she's hungover." Then there were those who started getting imaginative about things, speculating on whether Camilla might have recently had some cosmetic work done on her face. One person posted on X, "The Botox has misfired badly." Others theorized she'd had a facelift, or that she'd had something done to her lips. And if Queen Camilla really wasn't in a great mood for the parade, who can blame her? Like we mentioned, the Queen has faced a bit of a roller coaster ride of public opinion over the years, largely stemming from her reputation as the third woman in the relationship between a somewhat unpopular Charles and the globally beloved Princess Diana. It took decades of time and dedicated work to rehab her image and sway public opinion prior to Camilla and Charles' marriage in 2005. Her remarkable turnaround was all but completed in 2022 when Queen Elizabeth endorsed her rising to the title of Queen Consort to Charles upon his ascension to the throne, with her actual title ending up as the unambiguous Queen. Still, despite that remarkable turnaround, it's clear there are still some holdouts in the public who weren't quite won over. With this lackluster Trooping the Colour moment caught on camera, it seems like Camilla's reputation could be at risk of facing another dip. Polling by YouGov from early 2025 already shows a fairly low public opinion of Camilla, with a 38% popularity rating. She's ranked 8th for most popular royal family member, while Queen Elizabeth II, despite having died in 2022, firmly remains at the top.
It's official. Princess Charlotte is her mother's smaller twin. Sure, their clothes matched at Trooping the Colour, but you won't believe what else matched. Whenever they step out together at a public event, it's evident that Princess Catherine and Princess Charlotte have a tight relationship. As they rode together in a carriage, that closeness between mother and daughter was as clear as day. As they sat next to each other, happily chatting and waving to the crowd, Charlotte appeared relaxed and content. It's not surprising, really. These types of events are pretty standard for the young royal by this point. But it was a bit of a departure from past events. For example, back in 2022, she spent most of her time trying to tone down Prince Louis's exuberant waving. This time, Charlotte's focus was on her conversation with Kate, rather than worrying about keeping her brothers in line. As far as their outfits went, they were totally twinning. Kate sported a striking cerulean coat dress with a vibrant hat worn at an angle. Charlotte's dress was a lighter aqua blue hue that complemented her mother's perfectly. Even the princess's white hair bow and belted tie on her dress matched the white accents on her mom's outfit. And as for accessories, they both wore brooches on the same side, albeit of different designs. Charlotte's brooch was a horseshoe that had been originally handed down from the Queen Mother, Charlotte's great-great-grandmother, while Kate's brooch honored her role with the Irish Guards, as did the color of her outfit. And even though these dresses didn't match quite as much as their outfits at the 2023 coronation, the look was still a departure from 2024's Trooping the Colour. Back then, Charlotte and her brothers wore navy outfits with white accents, and Kate wore the inverse, with white predominating. Royal fans were quick to compliment this year's mother-daughter ensembles. One person wrote on Instagram, "Princess Catherine and Charlotte look stunning. "I loved the dresses," while another person gushed, "I love how Princess Charlotte's outfit is coordinating with her mom's." Preaching to the choir, it's obvious that these two royal twins were the highlights of the event, and even their behavior together showed how close they really are. Charlotte stayed very close to Catherine when the royal family appeared on the Buckingham Palace balcony. And once again, Charlotte also got a break during this part of the event, since she didn't appear to have to tell Louis or George how to behave.
She's a very, very confident young lady, and she's always putting her brothers in check.
Instead, she was able to pay more attention to the adults, taking her cue from Kate when it was time to make their exit. Kate and Charlotte's body language has long provided evidence of their closeness, with Kate occasionally taking cues from her daughter as they've attended events together. During the 2024 Trooping the Colour celebration, Kate and Charlotte also stayed close together on the balcony. Part of Kate and Charlotte's bond is a product of shared personality traits and common interests. The other part emanates from Kate's hands-on approach to parenting. Kate has made an effort to carve out special time for activities with just the two of them. To further cement their connection, Kate consults with Charlotte about their wardrobes, giving their shared outfits extra meaning. That was apparent well before the 2025 Trooping the Colour. Back in April, during the Victory in Europe Day celebrations, Kate and Charlotte displayed a similar vibe. They spent the event relaxed and sociable and even had their own little bubble of private interaction during the high-profile event. Now that she's 10 years old, Charlotte has a lot of experience with these types of situations. Since she's been a master of royal rules for quite a while, perhaps Charlotte feels it's time to shift gears and just enjoy being out with her mom.
The Duchess of Sussex has been posting increasingly frequent snaps of her and her children to Instagram, but here's the kicker: she never shows their faces. Harry and Meghan have understandably been trying to keep Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet out of the spotlight, but some pundits think Meghan's taking the whole thing a bit too far. Over on X, one pundit posted a shot of Princess Catherine and Princess Charlotte broadly smiling at the camera during their Trooping the Colour carriage ride, alongside the not in the least bit subtle caption, "Oh look, a picture of a royal mother and daughter, and you can see both clearly." Yes, it was clearly a shady dig at Meghan for continuing to hide her children's faces from the public, despite leading a very public life herself. Another X-user wondered, Meghan Markle isn't really a royal, so why not show her children's faces? As pundits continue to ponder the real reason why Harry and Meghan are only giving the public blurred or partial glimpses of their kids, some have made their own assumptions. Like royal photographer Arthur Edwards, he told The Sun he believes Meghan may have an ulterior motive for hiding her kids' faces, theorizing, "I think she's obviously got some sort of scheme there, where she might want some money ties on one day. I don't know. But those children, I feel sorry for them, really. I mean, they've got cousins here they're never going to meet and never going to play with." Edwards took his criticism one step further when he said Meghan might very well plaster her kids' faces on a calendar or something similar in the future to make some extra cash. On the other hand, there's no hiding Princess Charlotte and her brothers, Prince George and Prince Louis, from the public. But Princess Catherine has gone about the whole situation very differently from Meghan. Catherine loves taking photographs of her kids, once telling fellow photographer Carrie Edwards that her kids often beg her to stop. But there's another reason Catherine is always ready to capture her children's memorable moments with her camera. It's no secret that neither Prince Harry nor Prince William are fans of the paparazzi. Prince Harry has an especially hateful relationship with the media, and no one could blame him. The paparazzi did, after all, play a major role in their mom, Princess Diana's, untimely death. So, in an effort to keep photographers at bay, Princess Catherine took it upon herself to share shots of her children with the public, using her own camera and posting them on social media. Experts say this is a clever move. In fact, royal expert Camilla told the Daily Mail she has killed, stone dead, the market for paparazzi shots.
But I'm very much an amateur photographer. I sort of learn along the way.
Since Princess Catherine regularly provides the public with candid shots of her kids, paparazzi grabs are worth far less. The princess herself provides media outlets with exactly what they need, and awkward, often blurry paparazzi snapshots taken from afar pale in comparison. Meghan could take a page from her sister-in-law's book, but she's chosen not to. Whether or not this is a good idea remains to be seen. But one could then argue that Meghan hiding her children's faces from the public only increases the demand for visuals of Archie and Lilibet, attracting more unwanted media attention, not less. As royal expert Jenny Bond put it to the Mirror, glimpses like these only make people more curious, which in turn makes any content they appear in even more valuable.
Kate Middleton usually dresses like an icon from head to toe, but for Trooping the Colour, she let her fashion queen crown slip, and people noticed. Kate rarely puts a Jimmy Choo Romy 85 pump out of place. Still, this year, she suffered a major mishap by making the schoolgirl error of pairing her gorgeous aqua blue and white Catherine Walker coat dress with nude-colored shoes. Wait, what? White and beige, a match do not make, Your Royal Highness. Even Kate's killer legs couldn't save her from the heeled horror. And that's really saying something. Still, she looked glowing, gorgeous, and glamorous, from the ankles upward. More importantly, she also looked healthy. The public may never know what type of cancer Kate has or how serious her hospitalization and subsequent operation was. However, as Kate continues to slowly resume her royal duties, she appears to also be looking better by the day, outfit mismatch or not. When you think about it, it's not super surprising that Catherine's Trooping the Color 2025 outfit included that glaring nude heel mistake. She has a long history of favoring neutral color pumps, and it was her go-to shoe hue for years. Apparently, Kate wore them so often that those in her inner circle were begging her to switch up her style. One blogger told McLean's in 2016, "People have prayer circles that she won't wear the nude shoes again."
I'm also glad that I've had the time to to grow and understand myself.
Queen Elizabeth II was also a fan of skin-tone shoes, although hers never exceeded a 2-inch heel. One expert speculated that the favored shade staple is a way to save time on outfit picking time and planning, as it's just easier for royals to go nude. With their shoes only, obviously. Given all that Catherine, Princess of Wales, has gone through during her cancer journey, we can definitely forgive her Trooping the Color fashion faux pas, especially when her past stellar style track record is taken into account. Kate was all smiles and waves as she rode past the cheering crowds in an open-top horse-drawn carriage with Princess Charlotte by her side. Prince George was clad in a blue suit and a red tie. 7-year-old Louis wore a matching ensemble, although thanks to royal rules, he was forced to wear shorts instead of long pants. Princess Catherine's Trooping the Color outfit looked normal at first glance, but it was actually a subtle tribute. The princess paired the dress with a quintessential Kate Middleton hat and the late Queen Elizabeth II's Bahrain pearl drop earrings. But her grandmother-in-law wasn't the only dearly departed British royal Kate paid tribute to during the event. Her entire outfit resembles something Princess Diana would have worn to an event like this. Kate is constantly channeling her late mother-in-law's iconic style, from her color choices and silhouettes down to the brand. Her Catherine Walker dress is a nod to Diana, who was evidently a huge fan of the designer and wore her clothes frequently. The late ex-wife of King Charles III was also a sucker for a teal hue. Teals and greens suited Di's skin tone, so they were a staple in her wardrobe. Of course, we have to mention the timeless structure of Kate's coat dress, which boasted shoulder pads and double-breasted buttons that were classic features in Diana's 80s fashion era. Though Kate never met her late mother-in-law, the two women are more alike than you might realize. Kate and Diana share similar stories of their ascension into royal life, coming from common families and leading normal lives before marrying heirs to the throne. But it's the public's obsession with them that's truly comparable. As most of us remember, photos of Diana were so sought after that the paparazzi's relentless pursuit to snap a shot of the princess in Paris 1997 led to the car crash that took her life, putting the entire country in a state of mourning.
First, I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being.
Kate has dealt with a similar invasion of privacy amid her heartbreaking health issues. Conspiracies about her absence from the spotlight plagued every corner of the internet. According to an expert, William was especially unhappy with the gossip and rumors that were flying around due to how similar they were to what happened with his mother.
I think he feels he's seeing sort of elements of that being repeated again in terms of sort of the demands and screeches at his wife over her medical privacy, and that's hurting him.
For her part, though, Kate handled the scrutiny with grace and composure. And 2024's Trooping the Color marked a significant turning point in her MIA status from royal life. It was the first event Kate had attended since leaving the public eye in the wake of her cancer diagnosis, and her presence had everyone feeling extremely cautious, wondering what her return would look like. But the princess absolutely stunned the crowd in a regal black and white Jenny Packham ensemble, reminding everyone of her senior royal status. Since then, Kate has become an unfaltering presence in British society. Earlier in 2025, the mom of three shared the happy news that she is in remission from cancer, writing on Instagram, "As anyone who has experienced a cancer diagnosis will know, it takes time to adjust to a new normal. I am, however, looking forward to a fulfilling year ahead. There is much to look forward to. Thank you to everyone for your continued support." By stepping out for the 2025 event in an outfit so reminiscent of those often worn by the beloved Princess Diana, Kate once again showed the world that she and the late royal are nothing less than spiritual twins.
Prince William and Princess Catherine's seeming disinterest in each other at Trooping the Colour 2025 has set off alarm bells and sent social media into a frenzy. Throughout the event, the royals appeared surprisingly distant, rarely talking or interacting as they stood together with their 3 children to watch the obligatory flyover. Prince William seemed to look everywhere except in his wife's direction, and at the same time, Kate stood rigidly by his side, staring straight ahead with a fixed smile firmly in place. The sun may have been shining bright in London, but it looked decidedly chilly on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. There's no rule that says royal couples have to act flirty, obviously, and the aristocracy is hardly known for their love of public displays of affection. But Kate and William's distant chemistry took affection abstinence to a new level. There was no hand-holding, arm-touching, loving gazes, or even much talking between the two, with Kate's attention seemingly laser-focused on the 3 kids, and William's mainly on the sky above and his general surroundings. The lack of interaction and warmth has fueled the Kate and William divorce chatter that has been circulating since 2019. Rumors of an impending split first emerged after The Sun claimed Kate and her former bestie, Rose Hanbury, had suffered a major bust-up because the former viewed the latter as a rural rival for William's affections. As one source told the British tabloid, "It is well known that Kate and Rose have had a terrible falling out. They used to be close, but that is not the case anymore." Things escalated when In Touch reported that Kate had discovered that William and Hanbury had allegedly had an affair.
Internet sleuths are guessing that Kate's absence may be related to her husband and the future King of England, William, having an affair.
None of that's ever been proven, of course, but it is a fact that William and Kate have had a trying past 18 months. Then, of course, there's Prince William and Prince Harry's strained relationship. That seems to become even more toxic each and every day as Harry and his wife Meghan continue to get their names in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And Kate frequently finds herself caught in the crossfire of the battling brothers and her sister-in-law. William has clearly been spread thin, dealing with both his father's and his wife's illnesses while juggling royal duties. As Kate's brother James Middleton told the London Times in May 2025, being there for someone is such an important part. He was talking specifically about Kate's family showing up to support her during her illness, but it makes you wonder if William is being there in the same way. Going through such a turbulent time together often brings couples closer together. However, judging by their icy interaction at Trooping the Colour 2025 and ongoing rumors about William and Kate's purportedly troubled relationship, it appears to have had the opposite effect on them. It's a sharp contrast to their royal rivals Harry and Meghan, who took things to the other extreme during their time in the firm. Still, William and Kate are rarely passionate when out and about, whether they're mingling with the masses or waving from a safe distance. The spouses generally prefer to keep things strictly above board and PG rather than engaging in PDA. But as you watch them together at the 2025 Trooping the Colour, you have to wonder whether they're taking that royal image a little too seriously. A few shared smiles never hurt.